from Pontiac. Pat Goss will get to the bottom of seat cover care in a minute after this quick reminder about our address. It hasn't changed yet, and we're still sending out our invitation for your comments, suggestions, or program ideas. So get out the pen or pencil, because here it is. Motor Week, Owings Mills, Maryland, 21117. That's Motor Week, Owings Mills, Maryland, 21117. And for the last word in selecting the right kind of upholstery material for that new car or restoring an old seat to its former glory, here's Pat Goss. Pat?
John, I think I finally found the ultimate in durability for car seats. Right here. We've got a nice plywood seat. Now, you give it a couple coats of varnish every year and it ought to wear just about indefinitely. But I'm not sure how comfortable it would be on a long trip, so I don't think it's really practical. But suppose you're looking for a new car and you do want something that is practical and wears a long time. So what are you going to look for? Well, right here is one of the most durable fabrics you can buy. Sort of a twill-like material. Almost indestructible in most cases. And the very best type of this is one that is made of a wool blend. But you may not be able to get this in all cars. So what's next best? Well, next best is right over here. This is the old standby, vinyl. Been around since day one. It has a couple of drawbacks. First, it's hot in the summer, it's cold in the winter, and after a while it will tend to crack like this one has here on the seams, and sometimes it'll wear through. But all in all, it's a very good compromise. Does a pretty fair job. Like this seat, for instance, is 10 or 11 years old. Now, what is one of the things that you don't want to do? Well, one of the things you don't want is right here. This is one of the velour-looking seats. You know, this stuff is really tremendous when it's new. Looks gorgeous. You see the cars sitting on the showroom and they look like there's something right out of a magazine. Ultra plush and just gorgeous. But 6 months down the road, well, they start to lose their color. The nap wears off them. They stain. Really miserable, almost impossible to clean. So this is not a very desirable material for the inside of the car, and I definitely wouldn't recommend buying it regardless of how pretty it looks when the car is new. Remember, you're going to keep the car for longer than just a few months. Now, regardless of what type of cloth material you get inside your car, there is one thing that is definitely recommended for any of them. That's right here, a fabric protectant. You know, this is used on the carpets and the seats. It helps prevent staining and so on. Now, you could possibly do this yourself if you know a bit about fabrics and how to use fabric protectants. But if you don't, it's best that you have it professionally done. Maybe the dealer, possibly an upholstery shop. It's not all that expensive, but it really does help. Now, what about the older car? Maybe you bought this twill that wears like iron, and now it's 8 or 10 or 12 years old, and it's getting a little shabby looking, like this seat. Well, you can restore these seats. You know, as long as the material is still in good shape, just because it's dirty and so on, doesn't really mean anything at all. A couple of ways of doing it. On this side of the seat, we have dyed the upholstery. Looks practically like new. If you notice, we've also dyed the vinyl around it. We've actually changed the color of it. You can do all of this relatively easy, but it is expensive. And keep in mind, you can also do it to the carpeting in your car, like we've done here. Now, as I said, it is expensive, and usually you'll have to have it professionally done. So most people won't want to go this far. Now, what can you do yourself that's inexpensive, easy to do? Right here. This is a professional type carpet and upholstery cleaning machine. You can go to your local supermarket or a hardware store and you can rent one of these. It only costs a few dollars a day. And then you can shampoo your own upholstery. Let's get a little idea what we do here. Now you can see in just a short term like that we can really see a bit of difference. You'd probably have to go over it 2 or 3 times, but you can make it look almost like new. Really quite easy. Now also the vinyl around the sides of the seats, that usually gets to be a little shabby looking. So the best thing to do there is a scrub brush and a solution of mild detergent. Just scrub it and it'll look like new. Now, my advice is that when you're shopping for a new automobile, choose your interior fabrics carefully. If you do it right, the seats and the carpeting will have the best chance of looking good for the life of the car.